Warning, this video contains animated depictions of suicide. If you don't vibe with that, maybe skip this video, I won't blame you. Today's word of the day is suicide. Today we're talking about Sayonara Zetsubou Sensei, and you'll understand pretty soon why I had to add that little warning at the beginning. Sayonara Zetsubou Sensei was a manga created in 2005 by Koji Kumeta, a very weird man. He would then go on to create Joshiraku, so you know, he's cool. And then 2 years later, Bye Bye Sad Guy got an anime adaptation with 3 seasons and a whole bunch of OVAs by Studio Shaft. Shaft is best known for the work on Arakawa Under the Bridge, Madoka Magica, and the Monogatari series. You guys remember Monogatari, right? The general premise of the series is all about a class of really weird and quirky high schoolers, and by class I mean a whole bunch of girls and 3 guys, all being taught by a very suicidal man, Nozomu Itoshiki. Fun fact, Nozomu over here is voiced by Hiroshi Kamiya, the same voice actor for Koyomi Araragi from Monogatari. So Kamiya goes from playing a weirdo that hangs out with a lot of freaky girls to a weirdo who hangs out with a lot of freaky girls. What an interesting typecast this man has. The class itself is jam-packed with a bunch of wacky personalities such as OCD, Rights Gay Porn, Really Mean Texting, Literally Kobeni, Illegal Immigrant.
Build that wall, build that wall.
The Boy, the Other Boy. She has a fetish and it's not the one you think. Imagine your personality being having no personality. Also Hatsune Miku, and many more. Zetsubou Sensei has one of my favorite dual-page spreads. And part of that is because it's the first thing you see in the first chapter. The series starts out with a young girl ready to begin a wonderful year of high school. You turn the page and then BOOM! The protagonist is hanging from a goddamn tree! You can't find dichotomy like this anywhere else, folks. Literally, this alone convinced me to keep following the series. Because if this is how you start the series, I gotta know how you end the series. I always found the series to be really creative, especially with how it liked to play with art styles and even art mediums. I have a lot of respect for a show that'll just openly go, hey, we're trying something for this next episode, and you're just gonna have to live with it. The only show in recent history that I found perfectly matches Sayonara Zetsubou Sensei's manic art energy is probably Bocchi the Rock. Side note, you guys should totally watch Bocchi the Rock. The real star of the show here are the openings, done by a studio called Gekudan Inu Curry. They're best known for making some of the crazy witch sequences that you see in Madoka Magica. And man, does that show. The openings are really cool, but at the same time, they're actually pretty unnerving. I'm not even joking when I say this. All 3 of the openings for the Goku OVAs made me lose sleep. This shit is actually terrifying. What is this? It's always funny seeing shows like these reference a Japanese comedian or celebrity or just some Japanese only thing. I'm not shitting on them for it. Obviously the Japanese show is going to reference a Japanese celebrity for its Japanese audience. I just think it's funny that more often than not I just have to go I don't know what that means, but I think that was a joke, so I'm gonna start laughing. Ha 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 ha. I think that the show is really funny, it has pretty much tainted my sense of humor. But I also recognize that a lot of the jokes are fucked up. Would you believe me if I said the earliest running gag is Nozomu trying to kill himself? Actually, based on what I've said so far, that's pretty easy to guess. Seriously, in the first couple of volumes, it's either he's trying to kill himself or saying that he's going to kill himself. It's hard for me to pick a favorite character because all of them are amazing. They're fucked up little freaks, but they're also amazing. But honorable mention does have to go to the school counselor, Chie Arai. Not only is she the most normal character in the reoccurring cast, but I love her debut scene. Her debut scene is her listening to Nozomu talk about how he tried to kill himself this morning and just going, dude, it is way too early in the morning for this shit. Like, give me a break. Also, I'm a school counselor. I counsel students. You are a grown-ass man. You pay taxes. This is a little above my pay grade. Leave, please. Now, obviously the joke is that Nozomu's reasoning is, well, asinine, but damn girl, at least pretend to care. Man's pulling out his guts and then you're like, what, playing Fruit Ninja? The best part is when he leaves and then she just goes,
めんどくさい人、毎日来たらどうしよう。
Imagine you're going to a therapist, you're letting out all of your trauma and your demons, and then right when you leave, you close their door, and then you just hear, oh my fucking god, do they hear themselves talk? Wah, 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 wah. I do not get paid enough for this shit, my fucking god. Then again, I would be pretty upset if I have to be the substitute teacher 24/7 because the main teacher is off on some adventure, or trying to kill himself, or both. Pray for Chie. Someone pray for Chie. Also, everyone is named like an Ace Attorney character. Like, literally everyone has some kind of pun going on. Exhibit A, our main character, Nozomu Itoshiki. His first name, Nozomu, can be attributed to hope. However, the last name, Itoshiki, means beyond or to sever. This means that his name, read last name first as the Japanese do, essentially means severed hope or beyond hope. Not to mention, the kanji is read as Zetsubou, the Japanese word for despair, and he goes into a fit every time someone reminds him of that. And if people don't remind him of that, he's kind of in a fit 24/7, honestly. His job title, name, and personality makes him a teacher in despair, thus making him a Zetsubou Sensei. Get it? Another good example is one of his students, Meru Otonashi, a selective mute that only talks by sending email messages through her phone. Her first name, Meru, is literally just the word male, and her last name translates into soundless. You know, in a 4Kids dub, I bet her name would be something like Kelly Phone. Oh god. Imagine 4Kids trying to do this show. Gee Willikers, Sensei, you're floating in the air. Wow. I've got mad hops, young lady. A chapter that always stood out to me was chapter 97, Concealment of the Ranks. That's the one where Nozomu talks about wisdom teeth and whether or not people are wise to all the things that the kids are doing. The chapter, or to the very least the volume that the chapter can be found in, was released in September of 2007, about a few months after the anime first premiered. To help promote the anime, the characters were introduced while acknowledging their new voice actors. It's honestly a really cute thing. I wish more manga did that. Anyway, they adapt that chapter in episode 6 of season 2, and what they do in the actual episode is they just change everybody's voice actors every other minute.
もう親知らずではありませんね。歯の親知らずが親に知られてしまう現代。親に文房具買うともらったお金で買ったアイドル声優の CD。
確かに秘密基地は親知らずですものね。嫌だー！歯を抜くのは嫌だー！
I love gags like these. I love it when voice actors have to play other people in the show. Another chapter worth mentioning is number 268, The Expansion of Pay. This one was released in May of 2012. Pay attention to that date, it comes back later. This one's all about paying people so that you can do work. It eventually leads into a segment where the economy is essentially reversed. For example, when you buy things, you receive money. It gets to the point where having a lot of money is a problem. People will break into your house just to give you money. The reason it stands out is because it's extremely similar to a plot from another piece of work. One Doraemon. Yeah, that robot blue cat thing kinda beat Kumeta to the punch. All the way back in 1977. In the story, A World Without Money, Doraemon sends Nobita to an alternate world where money goes backwards. In order to buy things, he has to receive money. His dad got mugged by somebody who gave him money, and when he breaks shit, he doesn't pay a fine. He just gets more and more money. More money than he has any idea what he can even do with. That in and of itself reminds me of the Milligro Man arc from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 8, where no matter how much money Joshu tries to spend, not only does it all come back to him, but he ends up gaining more money until eventually he just starts suffocating in the giant stack of bills he has in his room. But there's a good chance that that's just unrelated and that's my JoJo brain rot talking. Anyway, the similarity between the Zetsubou story and the Doraemon story was so troubling, the Zetsubou chapter was taken out of the official volume run, even after Kumeda got permission from Fujiko Fujio, the creator of Doraemon. I mean, if we want to get technical about it, creators, seeing as Fujiko Fujio were actually two different people. It was a duo consisting of Hiroshi Fujimoto and Motu Abiko. They kinda combined the names Fujimoto and Abiko to create Fujiko. I guess that's their ship name. I think the most interesting thing about the series is how it just randomly decides to have lore and a plot by the final volume. Keyword here, volume. They never actually animated these stories, so all the juicy bits are manga only. Like, the entire time you're just zoning out with these episodic one-offs, and then all of a sudden they throw something so wild you almost want to take note of it. And then the next chapter, they throw something wild that's connected to the last thing. And then they just keep doing it, and they keep doing it, until eventually you realize that you've stumbled onto some kind of plot, and that is really, really interesting. I'm not gonna say what it is though. That's spoilers. You guys get to learn that yourself.